So next we have Simona Macellari, please. Okay. When I met Simona earlier today, the first thing she told me is, I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. So she's still speaking on the topic of privacy, but it's nice to hear it from the view of a Bitcoin maximalist. And Simona is Chief Operating Officer at BHB Networks, BHB Network, not plural, and Blockchain Lab. And she'll be talking about tumbling down the rabbit hole. So I'm not sure if that's about rabbits or what it's about, but I look forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Can you hear me? Yeah, great. Okay. Thank you. I'm talking today about the most precious data, financial data. I'm more radical than my previous speakers because I believe we do not care about privacy. We do not care about the damages that we cause to ourselves. I could describe in tons of words what I mean and why we are under attack, but I prefer to show you a video. So if the team can put on the video that I prepared for you guys,
only for this conference. No one knows about the guys that are invisible. The top 1% of the top 1%, the guys that play God without permission.
This means for the privacy of the average person.
Spamming each other with our burning commentary bullshit, masquerading as insight, our social media faking as intimacy.
Recently, we learned that our governments, working in concert, have created a system of worldwide mass surveillance, watching.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
So, if we can start with the presentation, I believe we are under attack. We know that we are all monitored. And the point was described by my previous speaker. The point is that it's not that we are monitored, but with metadata, we can not only infer what we have done in the past, but we can predict what we can do in the future. For example, on the right, you see a simple program developed by MIT in 2013 called Immersion, by which you, from a web page that you browse, they can infer which are your friends, which are your links, which are your preferences, which are the data that you like to collect, the IP addresses, everything, from a simple program developed by a university. So we need to get back our privacy. Why? Because we live in the Wonderland. We give away everything. We need to protect ourselves because government, monopolies, big companies are making money with our data. We have heard before 3,280 billions. And I'm showing you a manifest of the late 90s saying that we need to protect our privacy with our means, because nobody will give us back by cryptography. And which is the most important privacy that we can have? Financial privacy. Why? Because how we spend our money tells everything about ourselves. If we are sick, if we have a mistress, if we prefer a political party or another party, what we like, what we don't like. And as a normal people, is something that is very annoying. When you are in a country where you have a political party very oppressive, it could mean jail for you. So what we need to have a system by which we can spend money in an open, public, neutral, borderless, censorship-resistant way. A system by which we can have anonymity. I can transfer money between A and B. Of course, what I'm talking about Bitcoin, the only crypto that owns those 5 pillars. Why? Because Bitcoin is a system by which we cannot, sorry, I'm back, a system by which is only valid a transaction if is respected the consensus rules. No matter who is the sender, who is the receiver, what is the amount. It's borderless. I can send everywhere. It's neutral. I don't care if I want to send money to one country that is in the blacklist. It's public. Every data of a transaction is open. You can see, you can derive API, you can develop application on it. And it's open because everybody can participate to it. It's a reliable system because it has got a very big mass, and assures us a little bit of privacy. What I want to say here, for sure, is scalable. It's some money. What does it mean by some money? It's an asset that will gain value over time, or will maintain its value over time, compared to fiat that, unfortunately, has got inflation. On privacy and fungibility, we have to work again. We have some technologies that we have in place, but the full privacy, the full fungibility is not in place anymore. Do you know what is fungibility? Okay, great. What we have developed so far? So far, what we have developed? We have developed the Lightning Network, the second layer of Bitcoin, by which in the clearing phase, everything is anonymous. Anything can be segregated and made anonymous. We are in mainnet, and now it's used Lightning Network. What has to come to achieve the full privacy? Snort signature. Snort signature should be implemented as soft fork in next year. Confidential transaction on Liquid. What is confidential transaction? It's not known the sender, the receiver, and the amount. 5 minutes. Okay. Maybe Nimblewimble on the sidechain. I love Nimblewimble because it is the idea of closing the mouth of everyone. This idea that is not known the amount, the receiver, the sender, is not known anything. For me, it's a fascinating experiment. Of course, our research of our company, RGB protocol, that is a way of developing token over Lightning Network. What few tips, because here we live in a wonderland, we give away our information. Few tips to preserve somehow your financial privacy. First, get out from free services. Facebook is fantastic, Instagram is fantastic, but get out from free social services. If you cannot live without those services, please never give your mobile phone your mail. You can have Proton Mail, Tutanota, everything. You can have a set of mail that you can give instead of your real name. Use VPN always and get away from free Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi, always a portable router. Be your own bank. We were talking about Bitcoin after I explained why this t-shirt. And having Bitcoin means that you must be your own bank. You cannot give to somebody else, to other services, because other services will mean that they will know all your data. So be your own bank. Run a full node and have your own keys. You shouldn't have custodian services, because otherwise Bitcoins belongs to them, not to you. It's better to have, privacy fuzzy wallet, a multi-sig wallet. Please, remember, if you have to exchange to protect your UX2, remember to whom you have received or bought your Bitcoin, because you can spend in a reliable way and in an open way the Bitcoin that maybe you have bought from Kraken, but you can spend on another way Bitcoin that you have bought from your friend, from people that you can trust. This is something that you should, let's say, note. There isn't a solution for that. It's better to have an open source and self-compiled wallets are better than pre-compiled wallets. I'm sorry, I know that is easy, I know that is fantastic, but are not secure at all. Backup and encrypt your seed always. The best way to learn it is to lose money, the way I did it. The first time I didn't backup and encrypt my seed with a very good wallet and I lost my money. Avoid know your customer and anti-money laundering like a illness. Always buy from reliable sources. Sorry guys, there are exchanges that don't ask you, know your customer. There are wallets that, hybrid trading wallets that do not ask you, know your customer. Anti-money laundering. Otherwise, you are dealing with banks. You are dealing with Libra, the new coin from Facebook. The end of my presentation. As you can tell, I'm anarchic. Because Bitcoin cannot be tamed. It cannot be under regulation. Never in life.
Thank you, Simona. So you still haven't explained your T-shirt. Why does it say Bitcoin is dead?
Okay, I was in Amsterdam at Breaking Bitcoin conference for Bitcoin maximalists, and we made a bet. Bitcoin could reach 10,000 or could go below. And I say, okay, if it reaches 10,000, I will wear in all my conference this T-shirt. This is why.
So $10,000
yes,
price,
yes.
okay.
Now it's 11,000. Because thanks God, we have this fantastic stablecoin, Libra, that is pumping Bitcoin. This is because everyone believes Libra, fantastic, democracy, peer-to-peer, why, backed by fiat. We have Bitcoin store of value, so it will go up and up.
Okay. And is Bitcoin unique? I mean, are there other things like perhaps Monero, which has privacy built in, or some of the new Mimble-Wimble coins like Grin and Beam? Zcash maybe? I mean, is Bitcoin the one to rule them all, or is it perhaps, are there other digital assets?
Okay, there are several digital assets that are very interesting. For example, for Green to me is very interesting, but there are 3 points to bear in mind. On Bitcoin, there are hundreds of top developers that are working on privacy, fungibility, and really you have the best of the best working on those issues. On the other coins, only few people. Secondly, for example, privacy, confidential transaction that we have in Zcash. It was an opt-in issue. Nobody used, so it was very easy to track the people using Zcash because only few people really use this feature. So there are others, but Bitcoin is unique. Why? Because he had a lot of years to grow up under the ground and to develop his immune system. It's a project that started in 2009, and he went public, let's say, with Assange in 2013. So he had so many years to learn. The others are immediately under the spotlight. For example, Mimble-Wimble was presented in 2016 in Milan, scaling Bitcoin. And after 2 years, he's already in production. I mean, too short a period of time to have trial and errors, because this is, first of all, a technology, yes, but a culture, economic revolution.
It's a revolution. We like revolutions. Okay, can we get a question from the audience, please? So,
of course, also, we have Bitcoin Cash that we have in the audience, but we don't want to start a fight between scalability, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah, we have a code of conduct, no fighting allowed on stage, yeah. So while you're thinking up of a question for Simona, on your badges, you might have noticed there's the hashtag LibertyBits 2019. So I'd encourage you to get on Twitter, Mastodon, Podium networks, LinkedIn, whatever you're using, and if you like what you're hearing on stage, start tweeting, start sharing on social media.
I think it's a question not only to Simona, but to all previous speakers as well, in a way. My name is Julieta Mantagieva, by the way, sorry about that. Isn't the extreme defensiveness of privacy, doesn't it rest on the assumption that we're all well-meaning and law-abiding citizens?
Why privacy is important? There are several researches that shown that if you think that you can be monitored, if you think, you behave in a different way, and you conform to what you think society should impose you in a way that you are accepted by society. So they come up with the worst ideas, not the best ideas, only if you think of. This is why privacy is so important. Privacy is not about being secretive. Privacy is what I want to reveal to the outside world. I need my own garden where I have my own food, because caring is not sharing. Why privacy is not important for the big corporation and after their CEO buy tons of ground around their villas to protect their privacy. Or Google CEO that's saying, privacy is not relevant in the modern society. If you care about privacy, you shouldn't do something in the first place. And they're the first one that ask their employees to sign a contract very, very, very strict on data and disclosure.
So that's a fascinating ongoing conversation. I don't think we're going to solve it today. But thank you, Simona.
I'm around, so if you want to ask me a question, I'm here.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.